It isn't a genetic difference, and it certainly isn't because Japanese toddlers are calmer by nature. It comes down to 3 small rituals, built into the rhythm of every Japanese home, repeated in the same order, every single night. If you've ever spent your evening pleading with a toddler to lie down, you already know the cost of getting bedtime wrong. It isn't just the lost hour. It's the lost evening, the lost patience, and the lost feeling of being good at this. And by the time the child finally drifts off, you have nothing left for yourself, for your partner, or for tomorrow. Most Western parents have been told the answer is sleep training. Let the child cry, hold the boundary, and eventually they will learn. But Japanese parents have been quietly producing the same outcome, children who fall asleep in minutes, for hundreds of years, without any of it. Walk through any neighborhood in Japan after 8 in the evening, and you'll notice something almost eerie. There is no shouting from upstairs windows, no slamming doors, no parents threatening to take away tomorrow's TV. The houses are quiet, and the toddlers, by and large, are already asleep. This isn't a coincidence. It's the result of a bedtime structure built around 3 Japanese concepts: ofuro, the family bath, the futon transition, and yomi kikase, the slow read aloud. Each ritual sounds simple on its own, but the sequence is what makes it work, and the order is what most Western parents get wrong. Let's break down each one, exactly as a Japanese family does it, starting at 6 o'clock in the evening. The first ritual begins around an hour and a half before sleep, and it is called ofuro, the family bath. In a Japanese home, the bath is not a quick rinse. It is a slow, warm, shared ritual between parent and child. The water is genuinely warm, close to 40 degrees Celsius, and the parent sits with the child for 10 to 15 minutes. There is no rush, no scrubbing race, no phone propped on the sink. Just slow water, slow voices, and skin-to-skin warmth. Now here is what most parents don't know. There is real biology hidden inside this 15 minutes of warm water. Warm water raises the toddler's body temperature briefly, and an hour later, when the temperature drops, the brain reads that drop as a powerful sleep signal. This is the same mechanism that helps adults fall asleep after a hot shower. Except in toddlers, the effect is even stronger. The second piece is the closeness. The bath is one of the only times in the day when parent and child are body to body, with no screens, no toys, and no distractions. This kind of slow physical closeness lowers the child's stress hormones. And a child whose stress hormones are low is a child whose body is ready to rest. By the time the child steps out of the bathroom, the wind down has already begun. The body is warm, the heart rate is slow, and the brain has received its first quiet message. It is almost time. About 30 minutes after the bath, the second ritual begins. And this is where Japanese sleep arrangements look the most different from Western ones. In Japan, the parent unrolls a small futon onto the tatami floor, and right beside it, they unroll their own larger futon. The 2 futons sit side by side. The child has their own bed, their own blanket, their own pillow, but the parent is right there, an arm's length away. This setup is called soine, meaning sleeping near, and it solves a problem most Western families never even realized they had. In the West, we tell parents they have a binary choice: either co-sleep in the same bed and risk safety, or move the baby to a distant room and accept the crying. Japan has quietly been doing the third option all along: same room, separate beds, side by side on the floor. And the science behind this arrangement is genuinely beautiful. When a small child can hear a parent's breathing in the dark, their nervous system co-regulates with that breathing. The child's heart rate slows to match the parent's. The cortisol drops, and the brain receives a single biological message: I am safe, and I can let go. At the same time, the child is on their own surface, their own pillow, their own blanket, their own small space. So when the parent eventually moves them to their own room, around age 4 or 5, there is no separation crisis, because the child has always slept on their own bed. Western parents try to teach their child to sleep alone all at once. Japanese parents teach the same skill in slow, invisible layers, year after year. The third and final ritual begins once the child is on the futon, and this is the piece that ties the whole evening together. It is called yomi kikase, which translates roughly as reading in a way that lets the child hear and feel the words. It sounds like just bedtime stories, But the way Japanese parents read to their children is structurally different from how Western parents do it. Western reading tends to be performance, voices for each character, dramatic pacing, big emotions, and rushed pages because there are 3 more books in the pile. Yomikikase is the opposite. It is slow, low-voiced, almost monotone, and the parent reads only one short book, sometimes the same book the child has already heard 100 times. The voice acts like a metronome, slow, steady, predictable, and the child's breathing begins to slow to match the cadence. Repetition matters here. Japanese parents will read the same picture book every night for months, and the child will ask for it every time. What Western parents call boring, Japanese parents call safe, because the brain of a tired child does not want novelty, it wants predictability. By the 3rd or 4th page, the toddler's eyes are already heavy. By the last page, they are usually asleep. And the parent doesn't say goodnight, doesn't make a big exit, and doesn't tiptoe out of the room. They simply close the book, lie down on their own futon, and the room goes quiet. Now here is what most Western parents miss when they try to copy Japanese bedtime. The order is everything. The bath comes first because it warms the body, slows the heart, and creates physical closeness. It is the ignition. The futon transition comes second because it signals to the brain that the body is now in the place where rest happens. It is the landing. And the slow read aloud comes last, because by then the body is already calm, and the voice simply walks the child across the threshold into sleep. Most Western bedtimes do these same 3 things, but in random order, on random nights, surrounded by screens, snacks, and negotiations. Japanese parents do the same 3 things, but always in the same order, always at the same hour, and always without anything else competing for the child's attention. The rituals don't work because they are Japanese. They work because they are predictable, slow, and physically embodied. If your toddler fights you at bedtime tonight, you don't need a new sleep training book, a new monitor, or a new schedule. You need a warm bath at the same hour, a small bed close to yours, and a slow voice reading the same book every single night in the same order. Try it for 7 nights, and notice not just whether your child falls asleep faster, but whether your evenings start to feel different too. Because the secret isn't really about toddlers or about Japan. It is about what happens to a child's body when warmth, closeness, and a slow voice arrive in the same order every night for years. If this video helped you see your evenings differently, leave 1 word in the comments, bath, futon, or book, to tell us which ritual you want to try first tonight. And if you want more quiet parenting wisdom from cultures that have been doing this